G'day legends, I don't know what is going on with my eye this morning. It's so red and so bad. It just woke up and it feels like there's something in it and it won't come out. If you notice that during the video, we're just gonna press through it, right? The fights this weekend, they were so horrible, they've infected my eyeballs. That's how bad they were. When are we going back to the Apex? I miss the Apex. UFC London was a horrible, horrible card. It was good on paper. It was good on paper, but I don't know what the hell happened in London last night. That was horrible to sit through. It was disgusting to watch. I woke up 6:15 in the morning on Sunday to start setting up the stream. While I was setting up the stream, I was checking out some of the other MMA YouTubers, some of the other streamers to see how they were enjoying it. No Chill was asleep. No Chill, the dude just turned his stream off and went to bed, and I don't blame him. That was a trash, horrible card. Horrible decision making across the entire card. Horrible judging. Fans leaving early, boring fights, empty seats, well into the prelims. I am not being hyperbolic at all when I say out of all of UFC London, the highlight of the card was an Indian woman. Just a disaster. just a disaster of a card. Before we get into Leon Edwards, what I want to talk about in this video, which is, I really want to focus in on Leon Edwards in this video. Can we please, for God's sake, just talk about the decision making of the fighters during a finishing sequence, okay? You know, like when you're not watching MMA, when you're watching other combat sports, kickboxing, Muay Thai, boxing, you know, and a fighter gets rocked and he gets dropped to the ground and they get a 10 count, how often do you see that fighter, that same fighter, get dropped to the ground again 2 more times that round, and then the fight is just called off, it's called over? Like, how often do you see that, yeah? You see it all the goddamn time, don't you? You see it all the time. Now, in MMA, how many times do you see a fighter rocked, the finishing fighter chases the finished fighter down to the ground, and then the finished fighter's survival instincts kick in, and they start Hail Mary grappling on the ground, and they are able to ride out the next 30 seconds, the next minute, to clear their head? How often do you see that? You see that all the goddamn time. You know we don't have in MMA? You know the one thing MMA is missing, from the other sports? We don't have a 10 count. We don't have a 10 count. If you knock a fighter to the ground and you're the standing fighter, you can call that fighter back up to their feet. You can force them to stand back up immediately, not give them the 10 seconds to clear their head. Which means if you are the finishing fighter, you can skip the 10 count and you can knock them down again and then get them to stand back up again. Rather than chasing them to the ground and grappling them, you can force them to stand back up immediately, where you can continue to batter the hell out of them. You just beat them in the striking. They are now hurt. They are wobbled. Why are you chasing them to the ground? Why, after 15 seconds of grappling, when you are not getting anywhere with it, are you still engaging in the grappling? Why are you giving your coaches any of your money to go back to the corner and have your coaches tell you that you just did really well, fucking up a finishing sequence? What is going on? If you rock a fighter and they're concussed, call them back up to their feet. Rock them again. Rock them again. Honestly, I don't know. I just had to get that off my chest. Like, how many times did we see that yesterday? It must have been like 5 times yesterday we saw that. We saw that so much. Anyway, now, on to Leon Edwards. Leon's cooked, boys. Leon is cooked. Leon is done, yeah? He needs a sports therapist, and I don't even know if that is going to help him. There is a moment at the start of the 3rd round where I could see it in Leon's eyes. I could see it in his face. I found the photo of it, luckily, and it's going to be the thumbnail of this video. He is just standing there, defeated, and I said it during the live stream, Leon knows that he has lost this fight. And this game of MMA that is not a game, it's too brutal. It's too brutal to have thoughts like that, especially in the welterweight division. You know, Buckley, who is surging forward, he is dominant to win a title. You got JDM, who is just so annoyed with himself that he lost 2 fights early in his career. He's vowed to himself that he's never going to lose again. You've got the absolute delusion that is Ian Gary. Yeah, Ian Gary might not be very good or very smart or very charismatic or very popular or very strong, but Ian Gary does have this self-belief that he is going to win a title one day, yeah? Leon Edwards is in a pit full of killers and vipers that want to be the big dog. And this mentality that he has got right now is not going to serve him well. I don't know if Leon wants it anymore. You know, I think Leon has unfortunately made a nice little bit of money in the UFC. I think Leon's life is a lot different to how it was growing up. And I truly believe there is now a level of comfortability in Leon Edwards' life where he doesn't want it anymore. I don't think he has that fire anymore, you know? I don't think he has that fire anymore. There are moments in that second Usman fight where we saw Leon Edwards quitting on the stool. There is a reason that Leon Edwards' coach had to give him that massively memed on inspirational speech that we all know about now, right at the end of the 4th round before the 5th round. There's a reason, yeah? Like, we can tell if your fighter is coming back to the stool, he's down on the scorecards, he hasn't got that fire to keep going, like, there's a difference between the way Mike Perry approaches a school with the stool with the rage and he wants to keep going, and Leon Edwards approaches the stool. Yeah, like if you need to give him that inspirational speech that we all know off by heart now, the "don't let him bully your son" speech, then there's something in him that's showing you that he is giving up. And I don't know if that has ever left Leon Edwards. There's moments like that again in the Bilal Muhammad fight. Yeah, towards the end of the 3rd round, going into the 4th round. It happened again. The coach had to give him the same speech. And now last night, it happened again at the start of the 3rd. Leon's got this look on his face of a man who's he's resigned to a loss and he doesn't want to be there. And then the phenomenal striker that is Leon Edwards, he goes and he shoots a takedown against the guy that's just been ragdolling him for 10 minutes. And he ends up in bottom position again. And to me, this looks like the good old Chael Sonnen. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm just looking for a way out. I'm not saying that's what Chael Sonnen does. I'm saying Chael Sonnen has talked about this a lot. Like, you see fighters quit all the time when they stick their neck out and all of a sudden they're in a submission and they just tap very quickly. That is quitting, according to Chael. And I saw Leon quit last night, and I've seen Leon quit before. I've seen him quit in there against Kamaru Usman. I've seen him quit in there against Bilal Muhammad. Leon Edwards has got quit inside of him, and I mean, I think it's over. I think it's over, you know. I don't think he's going to retire. I mean, why would he? If he's like, let's say he fights 3 more times and just works his way out of his contract, he'll get a nice little paycheck just for showing up. He's a former champion. He's headlining main events in London. He's obviously on a very, very good contract. So why just leave that sort of money on the table? But I think if you are a fan or someone who bets on MMA, I'm not saying he's never going to win again, but would you ever pick him to win again, knowing now that is in him? There is a quitter in him, and it comes out pretty often. You know, there's fights that he can win. There's fights that he can win. He can beat MVP. He can beat MVP. He could beat Ian Gary. But if the fight isn't going his way in those fights, is he going to dig down deep into the fire? You know what I mean? Like, honestly, right, the weird thing with Leon Edwards is, with his backstory and that little 10-second clip of John Anik saying, "That is not the cloth of which this man was cut," pair that with the only good moment of his career, which is the head kick that landed against Kamaru Usman, Leon Edwards could go around the UK and the USA just doing mid-level inspirational speaking tours for the rest of his life. He doesn't need to be a fighter anymore, you know? Like, you know those conferences where they sell crystals? People get all hyped up to change their lives. Then they buy energized water with the perfect zinc to magnesium ratio. One of those kind of events where a dude comes out, he's got horrible burns all over his body, but he's still got a positive outlook on life. Some woman comes out, she starts talking about Reiki healing and fucking meditation, and then Leon Edwards prances out in his Venom kit with the belt all over his shoulder. And I grew up under a zinc roof, bro, and when I was down, I kept on fighting, and now look at me now. Look at me now. That's Leon's future, man. It's look at me now, you know, and that's how I became the champion of the world, bro. It's like, oh man, how did we get here, Leon? How did we get here? Success, man. Success. Nothing kills a fighter's fire. Nothing kills the fire in a fighter quicker than being successful. And Leon has become successful. He's had the Rocky moment. He's held the belt up. He's screamed, "Look at me now." And now it's just gone, dude. He's a quitter. He feels done. I see quit in Leon Edwards. And when you're picking fights and you're putting him in your parlays and you need him to pull the dog out of him because Ian Gary hasn't quite made it to the top yet. Ian Gary still has to prove himself. Everyone hates Ian Gary and he wants to have the look at me now moment. When that fight happens and we're deep into the third and they're having their little point striking battle and someone just needs to edge it out over the other one, who are you going to be looking for to get the win? You're going to be looking for the guy who quits or the guy who hasn't got it yet? That's Leon Edwards' future, dude. Speaking tours and losing fights. I don't know, man. We'll just see Leon Edwards work his way out of the system now. So that was it. UFC London was horrible, mate. It was absolutely horrible. Mick Parkin got robbed. Yarn got robbed. Pooj is an idiot, chasing fighters to the ground when they're wobbled. It was horrible. On to the next one. Anyway, us Australians, we got a bloody uphill battle this week, boys. We got Urseg is going to war with Moreno, and I'm very worried about Urseg, so we need our Ursels to stand up this week. But that's it. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name's Dougie. I make an MMA video every day of the week, Monday through Friday, and I try and go live at least 3 times a week. You want to know when all that happens, hit that notification bell, that subscribe button down there. If you're already on board with the channel, thank you. I appreciate you being here. Please give this video a like to help it boost itself in the algorithm. And what do you think about Leon Edwards? Where is he now? Do you see him winning a fight again? Do you think I'm too harsh in my criticism of Leon Edwards being a quitter here? Let me know about that down there in the comments. If you're one of the paying members of the channel, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys, especially you, Shamon. Your name is up on the next slide. Everybody who pays for this, his names are up on the next slide. And until then, I'll see you on the next video. Have a good one, boys. Bye.